you know about rolling, rolling, rolling. What you wanna do? Rolling, rolling. What you...
Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. Sorry. Let me just sort this out. We're on repeat there. Anyway, welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It's a crazy day, isn't it? It's a crazy day, a nice week. A win does so much for everybody, doesn't it? A win makes you feel like you're on cloud nine. I mean, I've just been smiling since we won the game against Everton, and I've been looking at the table and I've been enjoying United sitting pretty in the Champions League spots. And of course, one of the players that got all the plaudits, and rightly so, was Sonny Lemons, our new number one goalkeeper this season, and he has been pivotal for United's success. I said it immediately after the game. My match reaction immediately after the game was, this is different. This is why we are succeeding. We're succeeding because United have got a number one goalkeeper, a goalkeeper that actually does what it says on the tin, right? He does what a goalkeeper is expected to do. He keeps the ball out of the net. The shot-stopping ability that this kid has got is brilliant. But not only that, on corners, he demands respect. He comes out and collects the ball and does what we were missing. And the nightmare name of André Onana, yes, it gives you shivers. It gives me shivers. It actually panics me. I get palpitations thinking about André Onana. And this morning, I woke up to the news that André Onana's loan spell will come to an end at the end of this season, and he's planning to return back to Man United. That's what he wants. He wants to come back and fight for his place as a number one goalkeeper at Man United. I'm not making this up. I wish I was. I wish I was sat there just thinking, I'm just going to pull everyone's legs and I'm just going to literally have a laugh. But this is the truth, guys. This is the truth. Unfortunately, we've got news that André Onana wants to return. Will United be crazy enough? Will they be crazy enough to return to this madness and get this goalkeeper back in? I mean, surely not. And I'm not making this up. Let me bring it up on the screen. There we go. André Onana wants to fight to re-establish himself as Man United's number one goalkeeper when his loan at Trabzonspor finishes. I've killed that name, haven't I? But yeah, whatever. Yeah, finishes in May, and he believes he will be given a chance to do so. That's from Jamie Jackson. Jamie Jackson, what are you playing at, man? Are you trying to give us nightmares? Are you really telling us that this guy wants to return after watching Sonny Lemons play for us? I mean, come on. Even he should have common sense. Even he should know the writing is on the wall. Even he should know that this is unacceptable. Man United fans have woke up to the reality, have realised that we were being fraudulently led down a garden path. We were being told that this guy was a class act, and we still are. There's still people out there who say that he's a good goalkeeper. One surprising name is Van der Sar. Van der Sar himself has said, Onana's a good goalkeeper. Shut up, man. Shut up. This guy, it was a fraud, and we all saw through him. I mean, look, some of us were very early to call it out. I was one of those guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll take the claps. I'll take the plaudits. I said it early on. I said, this guy's shit. This guy's absolutely shit. He can't flipping stop a shot. And I don't give a shit whether he can play with his feet and he can play the ball out from the back. He's shit at stopping the shot. So what's the point? I mean, why would we take on a goalkeeper who can't do the basics, can't do what a goalkeeper's meant to do? We've got, 10 outfield players who can play with the ball at their feet. We don't need another one. I mean, Ten Hag has got a lot on his rap sheet, right? He's got a lot of charges against him, and this is up there as one of the top ones for me. One of the top ones for me was bringing Onana to Man United and thinking it's all going to be okay. Absolute diabolical. The decision to go and sign him. And do you know what the crazy thing is? We signed him for so much money. We literally paid out through our noses for bringing this guy. And I remember the hoo-ha. I remember all the lift that this guy was getting. And we were all talking him up. And I genuinely thought, right, okay, we're signing someone big. No way can all these people come out and say that he's the top goalkeeper and he can't be. He's not a good goalkeeper. I was still kind of like, I'll be honest with you, hands up. I did watch him in the Champions League final, and I did think, okay, look, he looks decent, but I wasn't 100% convinced. I wasn't thinking, right, okay, this is. But I was thinking maybe I don't know much about goalkeepers. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not the one who's clued up on what needs to be done in the United goalkeeper spot. And I was thinking maybe, okay, we need someone who's ball playing. But for me, the biggest crime was to get rid of David De Gea and bring in this guy. David De Gea, I think he'd won like Premier League Player of the Season for United internally for about 4 or 5 years in a row or something crazy, right? He was our most valuable player in terms of what he was doing, shot stopping and everything. He was keeping us in the games, and the way we let him leave, the way we got rid of him was just wrong. And I felt sorry for the guy. I really did. And I felt like that's the last position we should be concentrating on. We should have spent that money and go. We should have bought players in to actually get us some goals. And that's where we went wrong. We went and spent all that money on buying a goalkeeper who couldn't do what a goalkeeper is meant to do. David De Gea was 100 times better than this guy. 100 times. But anyway, let's leave that aside. Obviously, we can't cry over spilt milk. We had to learn the hard way. And, Onana was definitely a hard pill to swallow. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, last night I was watching some highlights of this guy, and they were just comparing Senny Lemons and now obviously to Onana, and they're saying, look, how crazy it is that we were being told that Onana's the best goalkeeper in the world. And now we've got an actual goalkeeper who can come out and catch the bloody ball. I mean, come on. It doesn't take a genius to work out that this guy was just an absolute fraud. I don't know what the hell we thought we were getting, but we did not get a goalkeeper. It was horrendous. But now the thought of reading this just made me chuckle. It made me chuckle because I thought, no effing way, no flipping way will anyone at United take this seriously. I mean, I'm not taking it seriously. No way. I do not believe for a moment there'll be Michael Carrick sat there thinking, yeah, we fancy a bit of Onana, bring him back because he'll do the job and he'll create some competition. No, he wouldn't. No, I mean, Senny Lemons is clear. Senny Lemons right now on his day is clear. And look at Senny Lemons, man, what he was doing against Everton, the way he was just coming out collecting the ball, he made it look easy. Wasn't he making it look easy? You know what Onana would be doing? He'd be getting bullied in there. And all this shot stopping, no way in hell would Onana be saving these shots. No way. He was letting go. We know when shots were just, it was like you didn't have a goalkeeper in. It was like open goal, just take your bloody shot and you'll score against Man United. That's how it was when we had Onana in goals. For me, it's a no-brainer. Just keep him away from the club. Even if you can't recoup that money, just see it as a loss. I just let him be. Because I don't even think we should even bring him back and say, right, okay, we'll pay him like a quarter of his salary. He had the nerve, actually, to turn around and tell United that he did not want to accept a 25% reduction in his salary because they failed to qualify for Champions League, because that was the knock-on effect of not qualifying for Champions League. That's what happens when a player signs. They have within the contract, they have that. We heard it from Rooney as well in the overlap the other day, confirmed that as well. So Onana went around and said, well, look, to Ruben Amorim and the board and whoever he was talking to, and said, look, I'm not going to accept that 25% reduction. thankfully, one good thing Ruben Amorim did do was say, "Thank you very much. We're not sticking with Onana. We've had enough. We've had enough." But yeah, for me, look, this guy has been so good. We're just watching his highlights, and do we need Onana back? No. Thankfully, do you know what? When was this? 2 hours ago, we got conflicting reports. So another report came from Alex Crook. Now, the two journalists, you've got to take them both at their word. So, I mean, Alex Crook came out and said the opposite. So he's come and said Manchester United have no plans to reintegrate André Onana into their squad and plan to sell him this summer. Brilliant news. Thank you. Finally, some common sense. Finally, someone sees it like I'm seeing it. I mean, am I being brutal here? Am I being wrong? I mean, chat, let me know. Am I the one who's not seeing André Onana as a good goalkeeper? I feel like sometimes maybe I'm the only one, and everyone else is thinking, yeah, he can do a half a decent job, bring him back, and he'll be our second choice goalkeeper. Maybe he can play in some of the competitions. Maybe. Personally, I would get rid of Onana. I'd get rid of Bendia. I don't think he's good enough either. I think we need to go out there and get maybe another young goalkeeper. I think there was the Japanese, I think it was Suzuki, or I can't remember his name now. I apologise if I got it wrong. But there is another goalkeeper that we were looking to bring, but he refused to move. And if we can get another young goalkeeper who can kind of give us options as well, I'd like that. I really would like that. But I think Bendia is not the guy. I think Bendia isn't. He's a bit like Onana for me. He's not confident. He can't come and catch the ball. I think he's a bit nervous. And look what Senny Lemon does. He's not nervous at all. So anyway, this is Alex Crook saying that André Onana's not coming back to United. If they're not going to reintegrate him back, they will sell him. Yes, his contract comes to an end in May. I think they're just going to leave him be, and then they'll just sell him. They'll just put him up as a player who's up for sale from United, and I'm sure someone might come in for him. Hopefully, they've not been watching too much of United, and they'll come in and say, "Oh, Man United are selling this goalkeeper, right? He must be good because Man United signed him, so let's go and get him." Now, talking about other transfer news. So Onana, let's put that to bed. I don't feel like he's coming back. I hope he's not coming back, and I hope that we're not mad enough to do that. But then we are dealing with Ineos here. So Ineos are penny pinchers, so they might look at Onana as a very cheap option and say, actually, let's take Onana back. Because it's like signing a new player, isn't it? We'll bring him back, and he'll do half a decent job for us. I mean, and we don't have to spend any money. So that's worrying. But anyway, let's move away from Onana and talking about player sales. Fabrizio Romano just this morning brought news out about Marcus Rashford. Yes, we did bring you this news 2 days ago. So I feel kind of good when my sources are on point. All right. And I got this news a couple of days ago, or actually more than a couple of days ago. I sat on it for a little while, and it was on Marcus Rashford, and it was all about Marcus Rashford and a move to Barcelona. Barcelona are pushing for this move because they want to get it done and sealed, delivered before the end of the season, because they feel like the longer this goes on, Marcus Rashford is proven to be very useful for Barcelona, and other clubs might be looking to hijack the deal between Barcelona and Man United. That's why Barcelona are looking and have been trying to negotiate a price for Marcus Rashford. And we're being told that we're now finally coming to a conclusion on the Marcus Rashford deal. Barcelona and Man United are close to agreeing a fee for Marcus Rashford to become a permanent player for Barcelona, and that's the end. Now, there were some talks of maybe Carrick bringing Marcus Rashford back and maybe reintegrating him into the United team. We discussed this in our show a couple of days ago. It was fairly most of the chat. It was the majority of the chat was saying we'd rather not see Marcus Rashford back. I'm sure there was a few who were saying, yeah, Marcus Rashford, come back. Let's bring him back. Left wing, he'll give us some options. Now that Dogu's injured, we need backup. And of course, Dogu will be back in a couple of months. But if we have another like-for-like replacement, like maybe Marcus Rashford, we wouldn't be worried too much about Dogu being out. However, we are hearing reports that Man United and Carrick are not looking to bring Marcus Rashford back. Now, of course, many of you are probably thinking, well, who cares? Michael Carrick's an interim manager. We might not even be here at the end of the season. Yes, he might not, but he's still an integral part of what United are doing right now. And I think he's being asked. I think he is being asked about these key decisions. So I think they're running it past him. Of course, he's not getting a final say in things, but they are running things past Michael Carrick just in case this form continues and we qualify for Champions League and Michael Carrick gets the permanent position as the head coach at Man United. Look, I think it's a no-brainer. He will get it if we qualify for Champions League. But I also understand why the Man United are not kind of making it public that that's their position, because they know that it'll be hard to run back things if he doesn't qualify for Champions League or we miss out by maybe a game or two, and they have to get rid of Carrick and they have to bring in somebody else. So I think what they're doing is like saying, no, we're not changing our decision. We are leaving this to the end of the season. He's the interim manager, and after that we will then start looking at new managers, and he will be in the discussions, but he's not getting the job just because he's had a good run of games so far. We're going to see till the end of the season. I think that's fair. I would rather them do that rather than jumping the gun and giving them the job and then everything goes pear-shaped in a couple of games, right? We know that this table is really tricky. In the Premier League this season, the gap in points isn't huge between top five, say from 5th to all the way down to 11th or something, right? A couple of games can make a huge difference. A couple of wins can make a huge difference. A couple of losses can make a huge difference. And in United's case, we know this. We are fully aware of this, and we're panicked because we need to make sure we need to win every single game from now on in to ensure United finish in the top spots. Because if we don't, we're gonna regret it. I think we will regret not working hard enough. But anyway, Marcus Rashford to Barcelona, it is happening. It's more or less done. I'm hearing a few formalities being worked out, but Marcus Rashford will get his dream move finally. I think he wants to stay out there. He doesn't want to come back to United for whatever reason. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's something else, but he's getting his move out there. He's worked hard enough, and let him be. And I think, look, there's no point bringing him back. I always think, look, it was toxic. It got bad at the end. It got really bad, and I think fans are really short-sighted, or they've got short-term memories, which is we forget. We start looking at, Rashford, he scored this goal and he did that and he did that. But at the end of his time at United, he was sulking and it was awful to watch. I mean, he was not professional. He was not professional going out, partying the night before, or, a major game. And then even when he was playing, and let's be honest, he was getting, under Ten Hag, he was getting to play a lot of minutes. He was starting when he really shouldn't have been. His behaviour wasn't good enough to be starting. And yes, Ten Hag dropped him for 1 or 2 games, but he really didn't get the treatment. He didn't get the hairdryer treatment, and he was taking the piss. He was taking the piss out of the club. And I think that's where you draw the line and say, no, you don't get to do that. And it sets a bad example for other youngsters. And I think that's where the likes of Garnacho learnt their tricks from, because they saw Rashford doing it and they thought, I can do the same. Sancho did the same. There's a group of them that did exactly that, and they disrespected the club, and that should not be accepted by anybody. And we've got to draw the line. And I understand some fans saying, you can come back and do a job. Yes, of course you can. But then once you've disrespected the club and you want to leave and you've said you want to leave, let's not go back. Let's not go and grovel and say, come back. No, that doesn't set a good example. And the players who are already playing for United right now in that dressing room, they probably wonder why United are licking this guy's backside. And that doesn't instill any confidence in them either. So for me, absolutely, we need to go look ahead, buy someone else and bring them in. There's lots of names out there being linked to United in that position, so I'm sure we can go and make a signing for the future in that left wing position. And if not, we've still got Dogu, who will be back in a couple of months from his hamstring injury. Now, talking about other signings, there was also a link. Now, this is a very soft link, shall I say, with a new midfielder in Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, remember what happened with Gibbs-White a season ago, where he was looking, I think it was Tottenham who made a move for him, and the owner stood in his way and didn't let him leave. And I don't know where this is coming from, but yeah, lots of other clubs, including Man United, are keeping tabs on the Nottingham Forest player. Nottingham Forest not doing too well this season, but I cannot see him and Anderson being sold by Forest. I think they're going to want big money. They're going to want big money for them to be sold. Am I excited by this link? Not really. I mean, yeah, he's all right. I mean, I'm not someone who looks at that and thinks, oh yeah, brilliant, let's go and get him, right? This is a must signing and it's going to really improve United. I just think it'll be half decent. It'll be half decent, but I want the bigger names. Let's be honest. I want the bigger names. I want the Andersons. I want the Whartons to be linked to United. I want them to be coming to United. That's going to make the key difference. That's going to make us a better team and a better club, not players who are bit part players and utility type players, right? They can sit on the bench and they can do half a decent job, but they're not going to get you off your seat, and they're definitely not going to work in the team on a full-time basis. So for me, it's a no to that move. But anyway, look, exciting times. I can see teams worrying about playing against United, and that for me is a great sign. It's a great sign that people are watching United and thinking, shit, we don't want to play United. We don't want to come against United in this form right now. Right now, United are the best, the most informed team in the Premier League after the Everton win. We are up there as one of the best teams in form. I think who else? I think it was City are alongside us. I might be wrong, but it might be us, but I think it's City and United, but I'll have to double check that. Oh, yes, Onana is delusional. Yes, he is. He was delusional when he was here, Jim, wasn't he? He was delusional when he was here. He would walk around thinking that he's some world-class goalkeeper when he was making mistake after mistake. I mean, actually, the Grimsby game. Do you remember the Grimsby game where he absolutely had a nightmare? And this was against Grimsby. And there's no excuses for it. No excuses. The guy is an absolute wrecking ball. He just came in and absolutely destroyed anything we had. Jim says, I'm amazed by some short-term memory of United fans. I can't understand Player FC. Yeah, look, that is so true, Jim. What you have is you've got Player FC in lots of fans, in the modern day fans right now, because what they do is they don't actually support United as such. I know it's controversial, but I'll come out and say it. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm sick and tired of that, Player FC stuff, right? There's fans nowadays who support the player over the club. So it's like, oh yeah, Rashford is the best thing, or Garnacho, whoever it is. And it's like, that's my player, and I'm going to support him through thick and thin. Whether he's good or not, whether he's performing or not, I don't really care. For me, it's never been that. It's never been, oh, I love one player and that's it. For me, it's I support Man United. Whoever plays for Man United, I will then support through Man United. But my priority lies with the club. So if you are benefiting the club, I'm happy with you. If you're not benefiting the club and you're not playing good, well, I'm not going to be happy with you. I don't care whether you're my favourite player or not. And right now, look, I like Mbeumo. I think he's brilliant. Would I say, if he starts playing shit, would I say, right, okay, I don't care, Mbeumo's still the man? No, I wouldn't. And same thing with any other player, like with any other player, whether it's Senny Lemons, whether it's Kuna, whether it's Ahmad, whether it's Bruno Fernandes, I will call them out because for me, the club matters the most. The club comes first. So I never get why some fans are like, yeah, Rashford, or whoever it is. For me, look, no, it should always be about the club. And the club have never been respected by Rashford. He lost respect for United a long time ago. I don't know why it happened. I don't know when it happened, but it did happen. We all have to accept that Marcus Rashford was not playing for the club. He wasn't playing for the badge. So why would you want him back? Again, to prove you once again. The Rashford saga needs to end. Yeah, it does. It does. For me, it's an absolute, no. We don't go back to something that was toxic, something that didn't work. Hello, I'm watching from Uganda. Onana, he doesn't have space for Man United. Lemons is the best forever. Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks, Ithong. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your comment. Yeah, look, we all wanted Onana to work. When Onana signed for United, I remember having a discussion with some rival fans, and we were in discussions, and I was talking about how good Onana's going to be, and that he's good with his feet, and he's going to be insane, and look, that's what we've been missing, and that's it. This is it. This is the turning point. You know, how many times did we say that? This is the turning point, and it was, again, that moment when I was thinking, this is the turning point. We've finally got a goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper. We've got a goalkeeper. We've got everything. Everything's working. And this is going to be it. This is it. Maybe this is it. This is what's been missing all that time. We needed a ball-playing goalkeeper. But I was proven badly wrong. I hold my hands up. I got taken in by it. And I thought things were going to change. But Onana wasn't the answer. Onana was terrible. And I don't like saying that about United players. I want everyone to be doing well, but sometimes you just got to call it out. Onana was shit. Onana was awful. And Senny Lemons, at his young age, has proven how bad he was. How bad he was. I mean, I don't even want to think about it. That's how crazy he was. I still have nightmares about Grimsby. Yeah, look, that's why short-term memories come into it, Jim. The short-term memories are that we kind of sit here and think, we forget that just this season, we had Onana in goals for us and start of the season, and we got knocked out by Grimsby. And he was largely to blame for that knockout. I mean, he made some massive errors in that game. And yeah, I've always said it, the spine of the team has to be solid. If you get that, you'll be successful. If you don't have that, you're going to struggle. And number one, for me, he could never shot stop. Every shot was almost a goal, if not a goal, with Onana in goals. For me, you'd rather not even have a goalkeeper in place if that's going to be the case. And I kept saying it. Look, I'm not happy with Onana because he can't shot stop. What's the point him playing out from the back? What is the point if he can't bloody do the basics that a goalkeeper's meant to be doing? But yeah, look, I'm happy to report that although we got some news about Onana coming back, and I was kind of reading it intensely thinking, shit, no way is he coming back. No way. I'm ready to go out there and protest if he's coming back, right? But thankfully, there are noises and reports coming out that United are not considering bringing him back. Not. I hope they're right. Only time will tell. I think nearer to his end of his loan spell at the Turkish side, I can't even, Trabzonspor or whatever, I can't even remember the name, guys. But if it comes to an end, there might be a chance, and I know I'm leaving this on a cliffhanger now. I'm not. I don't want to leave this on a cliffhanger, but I'm going to have to. But there might be a chance that his loan might come to an end, and they might bring him back till the end of the season. I mean, he'll technically be a Man United player. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's technically going to be a Man United player until we bloody sell him. So yeah, anything could bloody happen. It is scary to think that what if he bloody turns up, comes back into United, and then they can't flip and sell him? right? That we've had that situation with other players before. We've had that situation with Luke Shaw, with Harry Maguire, and in fact we had it with Onana himself. We couldn't get rid of him, and then we had to drop him to the bench and play Bendia instead, and that was embarrassing. But he was like, no, I'll still stay on. I still don't want to go on loan. I will still want to fight for my position when Bendia has been chosen as number one goalkeeper. I mean, yeah, delusional, like we said right at the start of the show. It was delusional from him. But then again, he might be thinking the same thing right now. He might be thinking, well, who gives a shit? I'm going to come back to United because I'm technically still a Man United player. And once I get back, I'll start training again. And yeah, I'll see where things lead. I might be able to break back into the first team, right? I mean, it's laughable, but I'm being serious. There could be a case, worst case scenario or a crazy scenario where we have Onana arrive back and go back into training and say, yeah, look, United look at him and say, actually, we've not been able to sell him. We've not been able to sell him. So he's back. He's back to square one. And we're back to square one again. Neville, welcome to the show, mate. Hope you're doing well. Onana is too delusional for his own good at work and is pissing down rain. So hiding in the van, hoping it clears. All right. Oh, so you're at work and you're at work and it's pissing down with rain. Glad to catch the stream. Morning, Travis. Morning, morning, Jim. Neville, nice to hear from you. Hope you're doing well and you're back, recovered. I know you were out for some time at home, so it's nice to hear that you're back to work and you're back healthy and fit and healthy. But yeah, look, Onana does send shivers down a lot of fans, and why not? I mean, look, we all saw it, and we all don't want him back. We don't want him back, and I'll be happy for him to just be sold. Problem is, will he be sold is a big question mark. Jesus Christ, Barca are at it, man. It's such a worry that we won't be able to sell him, Rashford, but he's done so well. So I can see a few clubs that would be interested and would pay more than 30 mil. I said that a couple of days ago, Neville. I said, look, I think that's why Barca are trying to wrap this up as quick as possible. They're trying to wrap this up because they know that other clubs will be looking at Rashford thinking, oh, we'll fancy a bit of him. We can have him. Yeah. I appreciate that, Travis, mate. Very kind words. Feel great, dude. Was climbing the walls. Yeah, I know. Yeah, look, I'm sure it would be, mate. I'm sure it would be. It's never easy, not being up and moving. Not sure about Martinez getting a new contract. Need to wait. I'm sick of United going for cheap options. We need to wait and make sure he doesn't get injured again. He's injured now. Not bad. Not good. And bad alarm bells. Yeah, look, I heard the news of a number of players, not just Martinez, but a few other players that are looking at getting new contracts at United. And do you know what the crazy thing is? You only hear of contracts when things are going well for United. That's when you start hearing of rumours about, oh, this player wants to renew his contract and he's ready to sign, and this player wants to... They're all doing it because they know what's coming. They know, number one, that United are flying. Number two, that we could be in the Champions League. And number three is that, oh, right, okay, if we're in the Champions League, we'll get our salaries, we'll get our full whack. So let's sign on the dotted line. Let's get sorted. And yeah, we don't have to worry about it. The moment things turn sour is when these players want to jump ship. So yeah, Martinez doesn't shock me. The same thing with Harry Maguire. I just feel the same, Jim. I feel like we should be holding back on signing these players immediately, not knowing what the future holds for us and them. Right? So Martinez, it is worrying. We were talking about it yesterday about him picking up these injuries and whether Van der Ven is a better option or an option. I'm not saying he is the only option because there's other centre-backs available as well. We should be looking to strengthen them, and surely, from a negotiation standpoint of view, when you're looking to negotiate or renegotiate contracts with players, surely you would be like, you'd be in a better position if you went and signed other centre-backs or you had other centre-back options, and then you're going to the table and discussing with Leacher whether he signs a new contract. And you say, well, look, Leacher, we've got plenty of centre-backs who can quite easily step in your shoes right now. So here's our contract. Here's our best offer. Sign it or not. So that gives you more leverage as a club rather than saying, actually, we're not going to sign any other centre-backs. We're going to let go of Harry Maguire. And then Leach comes and says, well, look, I want to renegotiate my contract and I want double the salary. I want this, I want that. And then you're like, yeah, okay, we'll have to agree because we haven't got a backup option. So for me, from a negotiation standpoint of view, I think it's a bit silly. Nobody prayed to have Onana back. Yeah, Sanas, I agree, man. We are all praying that it's the opposite. We really missed Leach on Monday. Very true, Jim, mate. I think we're just being overly zealous with him because he's come back so strongly. The new injury protocol is wildly on the safe side. Well, look, Leach was a miss, I have to admit. Even I, immediately when I was watching the game, I was like, shit, we're missing Leach. We're missing Leach. That composure, the passing from the back, we haven't got. And I love Leacher. I think he's a brilliant player. He's a player who plays for the badge, like we were discussing about Marcus Rashford. But again, I just feel like we just have to take a step back and not rush things when it comes to renegotiating contracts and offering renewals and extensions. I just feel like we've not done well in recent years with renegotiations or extensions. We've just been terrible at doing them kind of deals. And I just feel like maybe, just maybe, we could go out there and pick up somebody else for less than that, even on their salary. Mark Guehi is a perfect example, right? He came from Crystal Palace and he's gone to Man City. Yes, he's on a huge salary, but they've paid hardly any transfer fee. So that is the difference. That's the difference. But they've got a world-class centre-back in that. So, and a young centre-back who's going to be there for many years. For me, look, we've got options. We don't need to rush. We've got Haven. We've got De Ligt. We've got Euro. So, of course, Leacher would be brilliant. I don't know how many years he's got left in him. And yes, it's worrying that he's picking up these injuries. And yeah, what do we have in store for him in the future? And look, let's be honest. If Euro and Haven do progress and they do get into the first team, I don't know whether many people will pick them Leacher over them. So yeah, it's going to be a tough assignment for all of them. Euro had me scared the first few minutes, but he settled in well. Personally, rate Haven a bit more, but for sure, let's not rush. Love Leacher so much, but one more big injury, that's him done. Finito, yeah, I think so. I think we discussed this yesterday. Me and Jim were talking about this and saying, look, it's one of those things, isn't it? You see in many professional footballers, when they get injured, they keep on getting injured. And his last injury was huge. He was out for a long time, if you remember. And to now come back and then get injured again and again, doesn't bode well. I think it is. But yeah, coming back to Lenny Euro's performance, I was exactly the same. When I saw him on the team sheet, I was really worried. And I was thinking, what's going on? Like, this is not good news. This is not. But Lenny Euro actually grew into the game and he played really well for us. So yeah, brilliant performance from him. Overall, I thought we did well in the entire team. The youngsters are being looked after. I like the way Carrick is bringing them into the team and not rushing them. But it is a worry. It is a worry that we start offering these contracts off the back of a couple of good wins and a good run of form. That does not mean that these players deserve to be here for the next few years. It doesn't mean that at all. We should be careful in doing that. We should be looking at our past mistakes and learning from them rather than carrying out the same mistakes. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I want to say a huge thank you to Neville, Jim, Sanas, and everybody else who's jumped on today. Appreciate you coming on. And I'll be back again with some further news, but that was the breaking news for today. Of course, Onana, nightmares, but I'm sure we'll be able to sell him. Famous last words. Goodbye, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.